Good to see you.
Howdy, Mr.
Yeah.
Mayor.
Ooh, this is
Hi,
a
good to
nice
see you.
spot here. Look at that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys want to sit in the booth or?
Well, this needs to be a private matter.
Well, I
All right.
can leave for now. I'll be outside.
Okay.
No. You understand.
Yeah. Could you lock the door behind you, Max?
Oh, will do, Mr.
All right.
Yeah. Party. Is party allowed in here, or is it just between us four?
Craig, deputy manager, right?
I mean, I'd rather disseminate it to the mayors and let them decide
Yeah.
I
what
think that's a
level
good
of
idea.
information to share.
All right.
Beautiful.
All
Could
good.
I get just 2 minutes? I just got to think about something real quick.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Mumbles, to give you the public brief. Can I get your state ID, please?
11104.
Wait, I'm linking a brief that's going to be going out later today regarding what we're about to debrief you on in more detail. So I'll give that a read. This was going to be, obviously, if you have any issues or anything, then, yeah, that's what we're going to be chatting about in a minute and debriefing you on. Is there anybody else here in the building, do you know?
No clue. I can call Max and ask him real quick.
Locks in.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Max, it's Mayor Mumbles. Just making sure that there's no one working in the farm above us. All right, that'd be great. Thank you. Would you mind if I come with you?
Hey, go ahead. See?
Oh, there's a farm above.
Doesn't
Yeah,
look
that
like
might
it.
be a little like overstepping. I agree,
Okay.
but you know, it's not
and
going to
nobody,
make a big deal of it.
Nobody will wake up here, will they?
Potentially, but they don't usually farm during this time. If they do, just send them out to me.
Better
All right,
that
will do.
than create a unnecessary headache.
Thanks, Max.
No
Thanks,
worries.
Max.
Does anyone need any food or drink for a head out?
I'm all right.
Alrighty.
Oh, come on, Dark. You don't want a whiskey or something?
Yeah, exactly. At least he talked.
You don't drink?
The old regime would have been like,
But
"Oh my
Alright,
God,
we
it's
have
illegal
non-alcoholic drinks too,
embezzlement."
I'm all right. I'm not thirsty, man, Max. But then when I
Fair
come
enough.
up here, I'll spend some money, soon, all right?
Alrighty. Well, best of luck with the meeting.
Would this be easier to do in my Oval Office?
Ooh,
It's a bit late.
And we're here now.
Oh, okay.
We
Oval
already
Office
cleared
next
the
time.
building.
all right.
Yeah, all right. Hang on. Jimbo's calling me. Jimbo? All right. You've already done this on your other... Okay. You know what? Fuck you.
All right.
Sorry, I had a
Yep.
unpleasant conversation with Judge Bo just 5 minutes ago.
Ooh, all right.
That guy. Yeah, he probably not happy he didn't win a judge spot, huh? Who was it that got the judges? It was Janie Pierce, and who's the other one?
Moose Knuckle.
Moose.
Clown sweep. You got the most votes.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So, you got any plans to secede from the state up here, Mr. Mumbles?
What's my name?
I said it. I said what I said.
What's my name?
Say my name.
Say it.
Clown guy.
Okay. No, I don't have any plans to secede. I plan on making this place succeed, actually. Grape
Great.
seed.
Mm.
I like that.
Yeah, I want more places like this.
Mm.
Hell yeah. We're going to put the suck and succeed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna start by seeing if I can make some plots of land up here into small community settlements, and then going from there.
Hey, Tony.
Hey. You know, my man, what's going on,
that
brother?
guy.
Not so much, you know. Just won the election by double the votes.
Damn,
Fuck yeah,
traitor.
Dan. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about, bro.
Tell
I
him I
told you
said
the
that.
racers got your back.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate you.
No problem. Hey, listen, brother, I got a quick question. I know you're a
Mm.
businessman
You
and
won
all
your
that.
election by
Mhm.
what, nearly
You know.
3 times.
Yeah, true.
One, I wanted to ask, do you know if there's any possible way to have a business account that is shared between 2 people or 3 people?
No, actually, I was just talking to Dark about that. We
There's
don't.
nothing like that anymore?
I'm talking to the
Okay.
chief architect, and we're trying to get that in place. So One
All right,
account can be
nice.
managed by multiple people.
Okay.
So,
Another
hopefully
thing I
soon.
was gonna ask is with the grant. I don't know if you were serious about that or not. I just listen,
Yep.
brother. If you can't make it happen, no worries. If you can,
No,
more the
we can do
better,
a grant.
but-
Yeah, so
Oh,
take
okay.
a look at
I think we put the application up already. I'm not
Yep.
sure if we did. Did we?
It's
Kitty?
called the Business Grant.
Yeah.
Business Grant something act.
Uh-huh.
Submit it in. We just need
Oh,
receipts.
we already submitted it.
Oh,
And
easy.
she put in the receipts and everything.
I'll take a look tomorrow morning.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, my man.
Easy. All right, brother. You take care.
All right. Take care.
All right. All right.
You good?
Yep.
Everything
I'm
all right?
ready.
Oh wait. So I've shown you both the document, the brief that we're going to give to the public. So the public's going to be aware that. So to just get started with a debrief, this is going to be regarding the. Who's that now?
It's Justice Grayson. That's probably one I shouldn't ignore.
My
Hey, Lady Grayson, I'm meeting with the mayors right now. Okay. Okay, sounds good. All right, bye. Not important. Hey, you're jumping the gun a little bit here, Dark. Hello, my name is Craig Barrett. I'm a field director for the San Andreas State Marshals. This is
Hi,
Richard-
Craig.
Important.
Do you
So
go
this
by
is
Craig
Richard
or Barrett?
Honestly, it's whatever the hell you feel more comfortable with. Because with Judge Barrick being over the radio constantly, it was very
Cleo,
confusing
thank you for
hearing
9
Barrick and
months.
Barrett. So Craig works a lot too. It's
Okay.
really just whatever makes you feel more comfortable. I really don't care. I respond to both.
All right. Now, which one of you is in charge?
But same
We're
rank.
we're same rank. We split our shifts into day shift and night shift. So night shift starts here in about an hour or so. That's where that's my time to shine, and then it goes for about 12 hours, and then dark. So dark's about 12 hours from, or 13 hours from now. Wait, math. 11 hours from now. Behind now for the last 11 hours.
Don't stress. Don't think
Shabbat.
hard about it.
Yeah,
Basically, if you
math
need
is hard.
anything, Marshall related, just come to one of us too. Whoever's
Mm.
around.
Either one of us can help, but
Okay, now that we've got introductions out of the way, great, thank you. So this is regarding
Are you saying anything?
we've uncovered. With me?
Are you saying something? Because I can't hear you.
Yeah, I am. I'll speak up a little bit. Is that
Say
better?
say a full sentence for me.
A full sentence for me.
Barrett, am I going crazy?
yeah, a little bit.
I think I'm going crazy.
This debrief is not going as planned. Mr. Mayor, you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. I had to take one of my patented pills.
Okay. Right. So we've uncovered it's a joint operation between the San Andreas State Marshals, LSPD, and BCSO, a terrorist organization that has been calling themselves the Faceless. You might have seen twats from these people. You might have heard the rumor on the street. Essentially, the reason that we became aware of this is because they have been escalating attacks on both members of the public and members of law enforcement in general, and most recently, they orchestrated a manhunt and kidnapping of a member of the Justice Department. Well, I guess the DOJ. So Nino was also present at the court center where a bomb was planted. That is suspected to be by the same individuals who were involved in Barrick's kidnapping, at least adjacent to that. And there
Wait,
was
Nino,
also
is this the people who tried to kill us in your office that one time?
Yeah, I thought. Wait, what do you mean court center?
you said there was a bomb at the court center the other day. And there's one there at LSA too. Remember the G6?
I remember
people?
now. Suspected. I didn't know it was actually confirmed.
It is suspected. We don't have any confirmation, but given that you had 3 individuals with class 2s planting the bomb at the court center, and then we had 3 individuals with class 2s wearing the same outfits that you described, involved in the same situation, I imagine that given the timing of everything,
Yeah.
those bombings at the customs there near LSIA and the court center
Yes.
were distractions for the groups that were going after Judge Johnson. Thus far, we have not received any credible threat
I forgot about
towards
that.
the mayor's office, either mayor's office. Otherwise, we would have contacted, well, Nino, you, or Pred already. That being said, the exact motives of this
Well, we
group
don't know
are
it's a
currently
bike. It could have
unknown.
been a
We
bomb,
do not know their end goal. We don't know exactly what they want. Thus far, they seem to be utilizing all the equipment they have, as far as you're aware, for their own kind of interest in cleaning up messes, I guess. There's been a lot of tweets involving them calling out leakers. So there may be leaks in their organization, which we've tried to
Wait, they
capitalize
know
upon.
about this.
And that was part of the situation with Barrick. They were essentially
That means they
kidnapping
have the
Barrick to
book.
try and gain
Oh,
access
wait, no,
to
they don't.
information.
No, they don't.
Barrick, can you think of anything else? Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, the helicopters, attack helicopters that have been. We're looking at buzzards equipped with 7.62 miniguns that have been opening fire on PD and civilians. Along with that, we have spotted a large stealth jet, possibly a bomber based on the size, that's been spotted several times now flying over the city at low altitude. Doesn't show up on ATC, but has been. I called the individual involved that we've had main contact with, and they confirmed that it was them. So they have got, aircraft, military aircraft in the sky. That being said, we have gained access to a few anti-aircraft weapons attached to our APCs.
Yeah, our armored combat vehicles. We originally had 4 armored combat vehicles that were configured for anti-ground warfare in the event of a mass incursion. Due to this new aerial threat that we've seen, we had to repurpose 2 of them to anti-air armored combat vehicles. So we have 2 anti-ground and 2 anti-air.
Oh, shit.
Really sorry about that.
Okay. That's good.
So we do have the capabilities of obviously taking down aircraft. Obviously, we need to know when and where they are, and there needs to be marshals around. In the off chance that there are no marshals around, I'll speak with Craig about organizing some contingency plans for that. And
Yeah.
obviously, we don't want aircraft opening fire on PD or civilian populace and not having a way to take it out.
Absolutely.
Right.
I would hope that I know that there was training done with tanks a while back, and some of those that may have been chosen were maybe perhaps questionable, but there was like tank shells that were shot into the hospital. So I'm hoping next time.
Wait, what?
Was that a
Wait, you didn't know about
What
that?
happened?
No.
This is about 3 months ago. So
That sounds like some day shift bullshit, Dark.
yeah, so there was the tanks were taken out. This was it was Hell Week that was going to be started down in the south side. Myself and the chief were able to quell the nerves to prevent bloodshed. And pretty much we opened a line of dialogue, right, where the grievances they wanted a voice, right? But unfortunately, there were elements within the department at the time who were, let's say, egging it on, right? Like, the very next day, a series of tanks were taken out for training, quote unquote, and there wasn't any public notice. They were driving through the streets and stuff. And while there was active surgery being done by now Judge Ava Devereaux, the tanks parked in the emergency lane and started blasting the emergency doors. And it was
Jesus.
all over Twata. Yeah, it was bad. In fact, you should be able to read more about it from Justice Grayson's report because I did make I believe I held a press conference about it to look into it. So you may have some more intimate knowledge. But like I said, this is 3 months ago, and I only bring it up to be like, hey, you know, training is
Let's not
amazing,
repeat-
right? Yeah, let's not repeat it exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I do my training typically in the quarry, where if a stray shot goes off, it's you're covered on all sides by a lot of rock, and if it, the only way it escapes is going up into the air and probably out into the ocean.
Yeah, bringing a tank to the hospital was probably the first mistake.
Yeah.
Shoot again.
I did put a good meme out that day.
Yeah, okay.
No, I did. Because nobody knew,
That's
right? We
important.
just saw tanks. So
Did it
you know
trip?
the Tiananmen Square
Yeah.
picture? I took that and I put one of my adversaries' faces like no, who did I put? Actually, who did I put? I put someone as fuck, man. I wish I could find it. It was a good one. It spoke volumes. I think I had like 80 retweets.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I put a senior buns worker there.
Just a random senior bus.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
because
say like Angel or like Pred or something.
no.
but
It
you
was a
put
senior
random
buns guy facing the tanks because that's what it felt like, right? Because
I see,
imagine you're
yeah.
just doing your job, right? You're chilling. Then all of a sudden, there's a bunch of fucking tanks and nobody knows why, right?
Yeah,
Jesus.
stress you out.
Yeah.
Right.
Dark, you know more about this faceless stuff. Do you have any more information? That's been a day shift issue mostly.
Yeah, I think in terms of nitty gritty details, I won't go into too much, but I think that this, in terms of like associates that day to day you might be aware of, we know that there is many gangs and groups in the city have been involved in a capacity. Not all of them. I'm not saying all of them. So just obviously take caution if you see anything faceless or anything on Twitter. Make sure your cabinet lets us know, because this is a developing situation. Like I said, exact motives are currently unknown. We don't know what the end goal is here. From an investigative standpoint, my goal right now is to figure that out, figure out what they want and what their end goal is. And my job is to preserve life here. I can worry about charges and everything afterwards. I'm just making sure the state is safe first and foremost, and then we'll go from there. So you hear anything? Obviously, you guys are in important positions now. You get any contact at all, make sure you report that to us, all right?
Is there any mechanism by which, like, I've seen twats, right? And I think the twat that resonated, I've been trying to pass on all the information I can. It has at times been difficult to for it to be taken seriously outside of, I think, honestly, outside of you two. Whether it's, sometimes I see patterns, right? And I think it's due to having a different lens than law enforcement, right? Civilians coming up, I hear little things start to tie together. But outside of like the twat, it to me sounds like they want to be out there, right? Because otherwise, why, for example, retweet Barrick Johnson? Do you know about this?
Right. So I don't know specifically about the Barrick being retweeted.
So he had twatted out, "It's a good morning," the same day that there was like a huge like PD meeting with the marshals where like I had to leave the room. So I already had a sense some shit was going on. And I remember him saying, "Have a good, like, it's a good morning," or something like that. And the Faceless retweeted it, right? But then there was other twats that went out that sort of inferred that they want to be known.
Yeah, that's the difficult part right now because we have got intel to believe that these guys have been up to no good in, no better sense of the word, since at least October. And yet they've only come
Yeah, Nino has
public
met the Faceless,
in early
obviously.
January this year.
Yeah.
So again, we don't know why they're going so.
Little
public
they
at the
know.
minute, and why
Listen,
it's kind of escalated.
help
from
me
us
with guns,
knowing
bro. I'll
nothing
help you
about
out.
them
Sell them through the court
to
center.
them
Fucking
being on
give
Twitter and
Faceless an
active, going
underground like
after judges
fucking
and stuff
table.
like
You know what
that,
I'm
being
saying?
very kind of bold about it. So that's something that, you know, to be frank, is a little is a concern of mine, because you know they start escalating like that without no apparent reason.
Yeah.
You know, we want to know why, and you know, could it be something coming? I don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out.
Okay. So there's not really like okay. Yeah, I'm
Do we know why they targeted Barrick?
They targeted Barrick for his access to documents. Given he's a high-ranking judge,
it was
they
that
went after him.
Humane Labs.
Don't know why they went after him specifically, but the intel that we received was that it was because he was a high-ranking judge who could gain access to files on the NDT.
Interesting.
Which he gave them, right?
Have we confirmed that?
Yeah, he was. It hasn't been 100% confirmed because he is still in hospital. But from the brief conversation I have, it seemed like after 2 days of torture, that he gave up at least some of the info they were looking for. Not 100% whether it was all of it. But to be clear, that the torture that I hold from the faceless person that I've been interacting
Oh
with,
no.
says
I
that it
thought he
did
was
involve,
out.
like rats and like biting his skin and stuff. So these guys they're messing about.
Yeah.
Pretty fucked up shit.
But it does appear that a lot of their work, at least from what we've seen so far, is contracting. Contracting people out. Like, to give a small example without going into too many details, that day that you're talking about, Nino, with the whole Barrick situation, there was, I think, 6 gangs involved that were going after and trying to nab Barrick.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like
Okay.
20 arrests, and including like 3 bail revocations, and like 6 hags went out.
That explains why. I don't remember who I informed that day, but I had a lot of people saying, mentioning that judges were being targeted, and for me, that was kind of a moment of like, how do you know this? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know at that time. So,
And you're Nino. You're in the know.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
people just spill tea to you.
That is, it's why I'm going to be a psychologist. I'm actually training right now, certified and everything.
Oh,
Really? Okay.
wow.
And my first 2 lessons with Pixie Plum, and they're just waiting until I get out of office.
Where'd you? I need to give you that tag. Easy.
Okay, well, I guess, do you guys have any questions about this whole situation? And I'll see if I can answer them.
And not in particular, for me at least, outside of like my immediate concern, at least at the moment, is if they're, that if things do happen, let's say there is a threat, right? That it become like, okay, let's say there is like a heli. I know, and I recognize it being challenging, right? Because if you tweet out, "Hey, there's a fucking aircraft carrier," people aren't going to avoid. There's more of a chance that they're going to go to it, right? But if in the event equipment is being taken out, I would love for there to be, like last I heard, it's something like, "Hey, there's some situation going on." I think like when it happened with Bolingbroke, please stay away or something. I hope that the notice is actually more strong, which is you are to stay away or you will be hit with some like, you know, you're gonna get fucked. Like you're probably gonna get thrown. You know what I'm saying? Like something that's very like stay away or you're going in for the 9s type shit. Like not exactly, but you get the vibe.
Yeah.
So that.
Okay, yeah, we can try and figure something out, especially if it's a static situation. We can, or even if it's mobile, we'll try and get a state announcement or something if there's judges around, that kind of thing. I think we can work on something like that.
Yeah, and then I'll like even something like, you know, if you see tanks out, like they're being operated by the marshals, do not be afraid, but do not, you know, and then
Don't
more that
approach 'em.
scare. Exactly. So they know that it's coming from law enforcement because we don't have like tags, right? There's no like marshal livery or something. Is it the Russians or is it the marshals? You know what I'm saying?
No, actually, it's a valid concern.
Yeah, the wildest phenomenon is when the tanks are out and they're actively engaged in combat warfare in the field in like Sonora Desert in a live combat situation, and people drive up in their sports cars. Oh my God, is that a tank? What are you guys doing? Driving in front of the tank, going,
Can I drive it
shoot
too?
over me? Yeah, can I try it?
Blow them up.
Well,
You know, there is one thing that I can think of that could help fix that, but if I'm going to be honest, but I'm not going to be too honest right now.
No, go ahead, double down. That's what we're here for.
Well, I mean, that's where like it becomes a federal issue, I think, you know?
Yeah, oh, yeah, of course.
Yep.
well, I think that's really it when it comes to the debrief for you guys. Obviously,
Well, the faceless stuff, anyway.
I do have a
yeah,
question.
that's what I mean. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you have any idea what they're going to be up to next?
Exactly what they're going to be up to? No. I think that I don't want to go into too many details because I think
Of course, yeah.
what's the word? Plausible deniability, I think, is important here, especially with them going after a judge to kidnap them for information. I don't want to give you too much information that they're going to think, oh, the mayors are going to know something, let's go and kidnap them. Exactly what they're going to be up to, it's unclear at the minute. As soon as we know, like, a motive and an end goal, you guys will know about it. And
Okay.
that's the best I can do right now.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sure several of their pawns are feeling pressure right now after those events, considering the number of hags that went out.
Yeah, 100%.
Has anyone actually been caught with docketed yet on the hag?
Several of them, I think.
Oh
'Cause
shit! Okay.
You had 3 bail revocations go out. Was it 3 or 4? It was 3.
I think it might be 4. Because Jay Hobbs broke his bail, and then he escaped prison.
Oh shit! That's on Wednesday. I gotta go to that.
Crime with him, and so they got hit with harboring a fugitive. So it was like 4 or 5 hags.
I only see Jay on this. Oh, that's bail conditions. So only Jay is on Wednesday. Oh, it says et al. Okay.
Yeah, there's probably an et al. Out there. So.
Okay.
When it comes to like associates here and charges and things like that, this is going to be the kind of thing that isn't going to be from like one incident. We're going to build it up over several, and really prove the association with this organization before we push hag charges or anything like that.
Understandable.
All right. Well, I appreciate the both of you keeping us in the loop. Thank you.
No on the faceless stuff. What else do we need to brief them on? Anything else intelligence-wise? Because that's not the only thing going on in the city.
No. It's not. I'm trying to think.
I mean, Bolingbrook. So y'all know Scotty was suspended.
Yep.
We think this has to do with the faceless thing, but we had a lifer escape, Matthew Colby. He was taken out into the hills at Mount Gordo.
Wait, this is being updated right
Scotty
now, believe it or not.
Judicial debates. So all the law enforcement in the state were tied up at the observatory. And Scotty decided to take out this lifer on a excursion out in fucking Mount Gordo, and obviously got held up, and the lifer was freed. That lifer is still at large. He has been cited in the state still, so he has not fled the state. But Scotty was suspended as a result due to his gross negligence. He has since been reinstated as of within the last 48 hours. So he's back at Warden. He is restructuring DOC and being a little bit more strict, it sounds like.
Hmm.
Trying to make up for his failures, I guess. And we've dedicated to trying to find someone to support him. So we one of our next hires we're looking at is to be a marshal who directly interfaces with DOC as a primary objective.
Okay.
That way they have some direct oversight, but also they have support, dedicated support that helps them.
Okay. Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah, they need it badly.
Right.
They're a fantastic group. Their reports. If you ever get a chance to see DOC reports, they write better reports than I swear to God 90% of the police force.
Well, yeah, because most 90% don't write reports.
Yeah, they just go from point A to B to C to D and then bed.
Yeah, like every single DOC report looks the same. Every single one of them use the exact same format for everything. Well, you go to like LSPD and every single report will look completely different from each other. It's wild how well they got their shit together. Considering what kind of bullshit goes on there. What else?
I've got one.
Yeah.
Mumbles, especially for you specifically. This happened a week or two ago. I haven't had the chance to speak to the ex-mayor, Kyle Pratt, about it. So I haven't seen him at all, unfortunately. But he had taken $13 million out the Blaine County account and purchased a jetpack, for which he stated was for a space force, of which he was the only member. And so I was going to inquire with him about that, and whether there was a treasurer or anything that approved it, that kind of thing, or just in general about the transaction. But there is a state jetpack currently in Pred's possession that I feel you should know about.
I think to my knowledge, the justices are on transferring the warehouse that he's bought with state funds and the jetpack to me.
Okay, perfect. That's great.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what I can do about trying to get that money back with the jetpack, or I'm just stuck with a jetpack.
I mean, we can sue. If worst case, if it was illegitimate, then we can sue Kyle Pred's estate and everything for it, or just talk Kyle Pred in general and recover that money by force if we have to. If it was unlawfully embezzled,
can we do that if we have the jetpack?
I don't know if it was unlawful.
Probably not necessarily. No, we'd have to auction off the jetpack and take the proceeds.
Oh yeah.
He did have I think he bought some vehicles as well. Blaine County money. So there might be some of those as well. Keep an eye out for.
Yeah, and I don't know. Considering the mountainous terrain common across Blaine County, I wouldn't blame you for keeping it just as a mode of quick transportation, so the mayor can keep track of his entire fucking county.
Yeah. Oh, I plan to do a lot up here.
Yeah.
I think that's all the important stuff.
Yeah.
The only other thing we had.
I didn't get to buy anything for 3 terms. When is it my turn?
Right now.
Yeah, are you going for another term after this one, or are you going after this one?
My primary intent is court center, and then
once that's done, step down and run the court center.
No, I'll probably I'm gonna play out the entire term, but I'm hoping before the end of the second month to have some sort of like board in place. So it sort of functions like a board that's like elected in, right? So yeah, it's something like that. That's kind of the loose vision of it.
I got you. San Andreas Marshals, we are looking at redirection. There's new legislation being written to focus on a new direction for the Marshals. We will still be as a primary objective looking inward and looking for any sources of criminal corruption. But I think we're collectively taking the stance as marshals that when it comes to policy and politics, we're mostly hands off. We're going to be focusing on the criminal aspect of internal corruption. If that makes sense. So like people are breaking SOPs, well, that's onto their command to deal with. If they're making really dumb political decisions, well, that's up to you guys to handle. I mean, you have your hand over control of the leadership of the police departments. So if they're making really dumb political decisions, you know, you guys do what you need to do to handle that. That's not our problem.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
What's wrong, Nino? Go ahead. Speak your mind.
Saturday was really bad.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It was so bad.
What happened Saturday? Which happening Saturday?
Which one of them? We have some things in the work. I wanted to talk to Ashira about it tomorrow. But to give you kind of a POV from my perspective is it sounded like there was a situation with it is being handled by high command from my understanding. But there was a case of someone that was shot down. There's a gang on gang violence from my understanding. But my understanding is that typically you don't just shoot them down, right? There needs to be a warning or something like that.
Right.
But this individual took their weapon away, put the weapon back, right? And someone on the radio said they're shooting at us or shooting at me. And subsequently, when this guy was fleeing, as normally happens, right? Gang shootings or whatever the fuck they're doing, he was open fired upon. And no one came out and said, I called it on radio. It gets worse, though.
Gold.
Is that even though no one came forward to say that they had made the call that they were getting shot at, right? Is that the officers did not feel they were justified to push the charges.
Oh, no.
But they did it anyways, and it went to bench, and then they actually went and apologized to the guy, and they didn't think they had to do it. The problem with that is fundamentally that's not RS and PC then, because charges need to be placed in good faith. And by the legal definition, if you as law enforcement do not believe that the charges you are pressing are good, that's bad
That's not
faith.
PC.
Exactly.
Right.
So there was here's the kicker. Apparently the guy that got shot at was representing someone else for the exact same situation.
Oh,
The fuck?
And before that, there was a Fleeca Bank. My phone was off the hook on Saturday. Like, there was no mommy and daddy around. Ray Romanoff and company robbed the Fleeca Bank. There was only one cop there, cadet. This is as relayed for me, right? So I'm sure there's another side to it. And they demanded, as a part of their demands, that the officer bring food for the kidnapped individual because he was starving to death. And apparently the cadet said, well, it's just me right now. Everyone's busy. He's like, well, just get someone else to come down here and bring him the food. Right? Those are his demands. Like, you know, and I've seen that in the back of a cop car. Like, sometimes they make it, like, you know, a little spicy. Somehow that translated into all the cops coming, right? And they framed it like they were forced to leave the call to come to this call, right? And that because Ray was threatening to kill the hostage if his demands weren't met, that they needed to escalate the situation, which fundamentally I'm already, that's the point. Like,
isn't that like what hostages are?
Exactly.
that's
But-
kind of the point of the hostages, aren't these things?
Now, understandable if it gets so bad they got a breach, right? Understandable, right? Like if the breach is safer than not breaching, fine.
Yeah.
But instead, apparently Ray de-escalated it. I'm not trying to turn this violent. We're going to give you the hostage. They give the hostage. They get in a car, and the police open fire on it.
Oh.
Oh dear.
So that was a customer support line for the mayor on Saturday.
Yeah.
I bet.
So,
I bet.
but
Yeah, I've had those days.
I think I'm going to turn to drinking.
I'm already on it.
I have highly
Well,
considered it after some of the things
Well, I
that
mean,
I've been through the last couple weeks.
can we inquire who you guys plan on? You know, you keeping the same high command?
For now,
Yeah.
I'm having some challenges on some things that I got to evaluate. I've been describing it like a Jenga tower, right? The PD is a Jenga tower that's been played for like a year and a half, right? So a lot of pieces missing, might be kind of, and so it becomes like a equation of if I pull this Jenga block out and put it on top, it may seem like a good idea, but it could also topple the entire thing over. So it's
Yeah, do I voice my concerns, Dark, or do I just keep it held within for now?
Hey, I think we're being transparent here. So
I had a very concerning interaction with Assistant Chief Peters recently.
Hmm.
We were raiding a house that was believed to contain barrack inside of it. We had a signed search warrant that was signed by 2 justices, Director Weiss and another justice. And we were getting ready to breach the house to look for the scope of the search warrant was literally to look for people. No looking through boxes, no drawers. We were looking for barrack. And the entire operation was being counted. Every time we were trying to give any kind of command or order, the assistant chief came over the radio and countered the order, trying to negate our commands. And I called him up after the fact, and I was like, "Hey, man, what was up with that? Why were you just actively negating everything we did? We're trying to save a life." And his response was, "I don't give a fuck about the life of that judge. I just don't believe in that warrant, and I'm trying to look out for my people."
Huh? Wait.
Yeah, his literal words were, "I do not give a fuck about the life of that judge."
Did he say for that judge?
Yeah. I don't know if he meant specifically barrack or just in general, but the life of anyone in general doesn't matter.
That I just
he was like, I don't think you have PC on this, and I was like, it's signed by 2 justices. It obviously has PC.
1 second, let me just.
But I mean, that's been the biggest.
There you go.
You know, it's funny you say that because I also heard something similar about, well, who gives a fuck they got shot up? Like, this guy shoots at cops. Like, that doesn't mean that you get to put your badge down and stop being a fucking gang member. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then, earlier today, you know, apparently there was a conversation with a lieutenant of a department, and they told him, who is the victim? Oh, Kent Archer? Oh, who gives a fuck? She's a terrorist. Like, so like, what the hell? What the hell are you supposed to do at that point? Well, I got a solution, and I you know what? I would like to hear y'all's opinion. I got a lot of pushback from law when I spoke to individual officers about it. They're very hesitant, but the public is very, very much unprompted. Understand where I'm going with this. There are ACRs and there are impeachments, right? Mm-hmm. They are considered scary. So much so that I myself held back many impeachments because it, for some reason, I think is not viewed in the healthiest manner.
Yeah.
You know?
It's problematic. And I've been trying, Nino, I've been trying to find the perfect impeachment to make it known that they're not just the doom.
Yes.
The dooming end.
But the
and they
problem
had a perfect
is,
opportunity, and for some reason they threw it away.
Well, the problem with it, too, is that if you end up picking the right test dummy, the test dummy ends up being someone that's either so obvious, right? Like where no one has a problem. Not so obvious, but as in like Like, you know, you pick like a Carmine, right? It doesn't hit, right?
Yeah.
You go do it on the other end of the spectrum, someone like Peters, for example, with this thing, right? It becomes too on the nose. So, but it doesn't. People in the average spectrum, it doesn't hit, right? So here's what I want to do. I want to have congressional hearing style hearings for Los Santos County. So in the event there is something that is concerning at a public safety level or concerning in terms of like if a certain bar is met where it is problematic, a hearing consisting of the mayors, maybe a marshal, comes in and 1-2 individuals have to come in and answer questions. And by doing so, while it may not necessarily come with a suspension or firing, the sheer fact that you need to stand at that table in the public and answer questions, I think not only gives confidence to the public, makes it known that those things that were done and what was said may be viewed a certain way. You know what I mean? Imagine you got to sit in there and it's like, yeah, we fucking shot him up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the
You know?
liberal court of public opinion.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is your like gut feeling about this? Genuinely. And if you think it sucks,
Honestly,
please do tell me.
positive. No, because I think it holds accountability. Say we put a police officer out there to answer for some actions they do, like your high command. What happens on that if it comes out negatively? It's going to look negatively on the PD, but you know who it's also going to look negatively on? You as the mayors, because y'all are the ones that put them there.
Yes.
I've always been of the opinion that if the PD's perception is negative in general, that reflects on the mayor who appointed the leadership. If things need to change in PD, the mayors need to appoint someone who's going to push that change.
Agreed.
That's why I have taken the stance of I don't want to get involved in political decisions or policy decisions. That we're going to focus on criminal acts, because it's up to the mayors to resolve that. Y'all got elected as mayors to represent the people. If the people aren't happy with your decisions, that's on you.
Agreed. And I would say in the same boat, if I wish she had told me this sooner, because I would have definitely highlighted it. It's
Yeah, I think as long as it's done right, and in the right way, I think it could be something good. You know, get people in there answering questions before an ACR or an impeachment.
yeah,
I think,
precisely. It could get attached to an ACR, right?
Yeah,
And in theory, it could be done quicker than an ACR necessarily would, since it's like less formal, and then that's more formal. You know. Okay.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, and it's like, honestly, it's like if you don't show up to one of these hearings, it's not DOJ or a court ordered thing. You could be.
Oh, it's gonna come with a penalty.
Yeah, it'll come with penalties, but
Yeah.
it's not like a criminal penalty. It's like, well, fine, you don't want to show up to my hearing, then the mayor's gonna have you suspended, or something like that.
Yeah. That's one thing I've been battling is like I wouldn't want the mayor to do suspensions. I think that would be I'd be undermining, right? At that point.
But you could definitely heavily imply to your appointed chief.
I was
They should
thinking
just do it
fining $1 million
themselves.
to their budget.
Finding $1 million.
No, genuinely.
Honestly, I've been in support of fining the police for like, the whole DAP system where they get points on their record, and if they get so many DAP points, they get suspensions, things like that. Fuck that, fine them.
I just got to find the balance between accountability and what might be felt, perceived as something more vile. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want people to not show up to work, right? Over something like that. And that's a hard thing to figure out. So
yeah, it's tough, and especially like the whole like, every time we bring up impeachments, the number of times I've had to explain what impeachments are over the last month is ridiculous. Especially over the whole thing with what's her name, Princess. They were like, "Why are you trying to impeach
my
her?"
wife.
Like, yeah, like I was going for impeachment on her.
Yeah.
And she stepped down, but the impeachment still continues. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is a perfect opportunity for the DOJ to show what impeachment can be. And it's literally just a finger point. And a successful impeachment is people going, hey, what that person did, that's not right. Like then just literally pointing a finger, hey, what they did, that's not right. That's impeachment.
Right.
I think what happened there used to be something called strikes in the police department, and they got renamed DAPs because of the perception, right? So it's kind of like repackaging. And I think with the creation of the new Constitution and the impeachments and whatnot, is that very, very quickly on, it turned that impeachments were like thrown a lot. In the first term, it was thrown around a lot. They're gonna get impeached, lose their job. Da, da. So it became demonized, like the word and the thing, even though, because no one's gonna read the details, right? And it's also set an expectation also for everyone that if there is an impeachment, it's got to be like, you know, the worst case scenario outcome, right? But
maybe it needs a rebranding.
Yeah.
To what though? It's a better word for another word.
Ooh, let me ask AI.
Impeach. Apple.
What?
Oh,
yeah.
Bill Clinton.
M Orange. Bill Clinton.
Yeah, get Clinton.
Get Clinton. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I do have my Secret Service ask me a lot if whatever I'm doing at the time is a code Clinton. I'm not sure what that means.
What about indictment? Is that good, or arraignment? Do those fit?
No, because that has criminal implications,
Yeah.
and you can get impeached for things that aren't criminal.
Like getting your cock sucked.
Yeah.
Under a desk.
Yeah.
And the Oval Office.
Well, it was actually over lying, right? It was lying to Congress. Wasn't that what it was? Lying under oath. That's what it was.
To the public, even.
Yeah, because he said, I did not sleep with that woman. Oh, no, I did not have sexual relationships with that woman.
Yeah.
Civil service breach of confidence. Something like that.
CCBC? What about like a BBC or something?
Yeah, something like that.
There you go. You can workshop it.
All right. Well, hey, this is good. What is the formatting that this is going to be sent out? May I recommend something?
Sure, yeah.
If it was put into letterhead, like a Marshall letterhead or whatever it is, and that photo is put on Twitter and then retweeted before tsunami, after tsunami, maybe later in this tsunami as well, and then also put into the DOJ announcement so it like gets out there, you know?
We seriously need a regular place for everybody to go find local,
I know, right?
statewide news.
I'm going to be starting up the Grapeseed News organization with Ursula.
Ooh.
I miss when we had the fucking LSBN app in our phones.
Oh
We
yeah,
had
that was nice.
We had a universal place to put information out.
It's a good
Okay.
suggestion. I think. Sorry, Craig. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dark. I was just.
No, I was just saying we'll probably get it as a state announcement for now. Obviously, this needs to be a thing that isn't just done today. It needs to be done,
True.
you know, over the next few days. So I'll work on something like that. It's a good idea. I want to bloody hire someone, Craig, that we can just have for press stuff, you know, like a press secretary or something.
Can we steal Ursula?
No. You can work with us, but you can't steal it.
Oh, I gotta take this husband.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was great. Thank you, guys. We'll make this a regular thing so that we can, you know, touch base every couple of weeks or so.
Yeah.
You know,
Love
Sure.
it. And please,
All right.
if you have issues with LSPD, do not hesitate to, like, you know, fill me in, and I can
course,
try
yeah.
to. I want things to operate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
100%.
all right.
Yeah, any comments with the BCSO after I've selected a new sheriff, you let me know too.
Yeah. Oh God, is all of our phones blowing up? Why are all of our phones blowing up right now? Because mine's blowing up now too.
Max should be out there.
Man,
Hey, Rhodes.
I'll give him a call.
Oh, why's
Yeah,
my-
we're
oh,
in a
is he
meeting with the
calling
mayors.
You now?
Huh?
I missed it. I'm gonna be in the fucking dog.
Oh,
cage.
you thought we were in the murder?
Can you let
murder
us out?
place.
Sure thing.
Oh no,
All right,
yeah, we're
thanks.
just having a meeting with the mayors. All right, you do. They thought we were getting murdered.
Oh,
Thanks.
No worries.
Nice.
What happened out here? I missed anything fun?
Oh, there's a bit of race going through.
There's a biff
All
to
right, I
race.
assume
All
you're
right.
gonna need a race. You're gonna need a ride back, Nino.
yes, please.
Right.
All right.
I'm gonna go ride with Matt. All right. So I'll catch you in a bit, Craig.
All right.
Could you do me a favor and go to that location? I left my vehicle at the observatory.
Observatory.
Yep.
Do that for you. Hold on. Before we take off. I do. Okay. I need this. This is gonna drive me crazy if I don't handle this.
Yeah, no worries. Oh, yeah. Yep.
I seriously keep like 6 bottles of this shit on me at all times.
Mm.
It's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Yeah, I drive a white vehicle, so I've got the same issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hate the dirt on my windshield, so I can't see very well. On the side windows and shit. Ugh.
I appreciate what Dark
I go
and
through so much windshield wiper fluid.
Barrett are doing is operating under like asking, right? And what's the worst that happens? I'm like, oh God, and I do like, you know, if I was doing something fucked up, like I'm glad he
Well,
brought
that
up
was
like,
good. That was positive.
yep. I have to say I really appreciate. Can we go back to Dark real quick?
Yeah. If you
Yeah, I just want to. I don't know if he's gone.
Nah, he's up here on the right.
Hey. Hey, Doc, I just
Right?
want to say I appreciate the conversation. Genuinely.
No, of course, yeah. You
Yeah.
too, man. We'll,
All right.
like I said, we'll make some regular.
Easy. All right, brother.
All right.
You take care.
Thank you, Mr. Matt. You too.
No, I think a new transparent direction has been needed for a long time, and more
Yeah.
cooperation between governmental factions. The fact that we've treated each other like oppositions for so long has really hampered advancement in our society.
Yeah, it makes it very difficult to reset shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll use the court center as an example, right? I like the accounts. I understand why I could raise eyebrows, right? But I'm
Yeah.
glad you guys asked me. You know what I mean?
Instead of
Because
just launching an investigation.
in the
right off
past,
the
it would have
bat.
been like, I think it would have turned into don't talk to Nino. We got to figure out what he's doing with this. When the answer is very just straightforward, we don't have a way to share money. So,
Yeah. There's
or-
been this whole culture developed in the police department that you keep information withheld. Like, don't tell anyone anything. I swear to God, we're a fucking gang now.
oh yeah,
Where everybody wants to keep their secrets, and like, there's something. We're civil service. We are serving the people. Like,
Yes.
I get, and trust me, I've had a crash out about this before. That most of the people we serve are criminals, but that's not our responsibility to deal with.
yep. Well, most of the best law enforcement used to be criminals. You know?
Yeah, I mean, look at me.
Yeah.
I served 34 years.
Yeah. 34 years. Holy shit.
Yeah, I served more time in Bolingbroke than the San Queen treasonists. Yeah, put that in perspective. Now here I am, field director of the Marshals.
Hey, well deserved. It's very evident to me how much effort you and Doc have been putting into building up the marshals and you know,
Trying to change things for the better.
it brings some things down to like a bit of reality too, you know, slows things down a bit, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
If everything operates on a 10 on the guilt scale, right? then nothing special, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But I think for far too long, the city's also been really run by the banks, by bank robberies. You know?
Yeah.
That's been the mode. You're either chasing a bank robber, you are the bank robber, or you're a hostage to the bank robber.
Yeah, true.
So,
God, all I want to do is help uplift any of the true citizens, the civilians we have in this town who want to just live life
yeah.
and not
Yep.
harm other people.
Oh, yeah. I think there's a lot of people genuinely that want a alternative too, you know? And making sure they get that like room to breathe, I think is very important. It's why I'm such a big proponent of the court center, is because there are likely individuals that are felons and they don't know what else they can do, right?
Yep.
And if
Well,
given
I mean,
that
right now, that's the only way to
avenue,
get, like, if you want to own property and have your own house, that's pretty much the only way to do it right now.
yep, 100%. Or mindless G6 running, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I wish we could find a way to get some of these people to relinquish control of the residential houses. The ones who aren't using them, they're just using them to store shit.
Well,
And it's
I tried that, and that's why I want the goal. You know the building next to the current open one? My goal is, and this is, I know you're not going to tell anyone this, so that's why I'm comfortable. I don't want to like cyberpunk it, you know what I mean? I want to imagine you go in there and there's 20, like 2 floors, and there's like 20 senior buns like gates, right? And you can walk up to one of those gates and turn your vendor key in it, and it opens up your already customized shop, right?
Yeah,
so one
you already
day
set up.
yours might be on number 2. The next day you walk in there, you might be in number 6, but your whole setup's in there. So it becomes like a actual shopping mall that anyone can purchase a thing in. Sort of kind of like, you know, maybe, you know, talking, you know, the guy at the apartment that runs the apartments, how he likes to move shit
Yeah,
around.
Yeah, similar to Little Soul.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that'd be great, honestly.
Yep.
That'd be a pretty good.
'Cause-
Even if we had some of those around the city, generally, like.
Yeah. Well, I want it centralized simply because even if property was relinquished, right? The main problem of commerce is not the property. It's that no one can discover it.
Yeah.
And so by people knowing that commerce is at courts, people will come to you naturally and people know to go there. But otherwise, it's like we had this issue with the mechanic shops, right? Like they all have properties for it, but there's no way to know which one is open without driving around, calling on the yellow pages. And in the same vein, if, you know, let's say you and I ran a cigar shop over here in this building to the left, who's going to know it's open? We'd have to just sit there spamming Twata, you know, and we might get 1 or 2 people roll through.
What if for some of these shops that they have a like a clock in button that they have, and it's not necessary for clocking in to get paid or anything.
Mhm.
It puts them on the map. Like, you know, we all have these maps on our phones that have the little icons for the various points of interest.
Yep.
And what's to say that when somebody's clocked in, their business shows up on the map and that lets everybody know, hey, we're open for business right now.
We tried that avenue. The idea was that you could do a slash, like on your phone, you click an advertisement button, or you in your, you know, civilian MDT do slash advertise, and then you could put something there, right? A main text and a description text. And you would pay per hour or something up to like a certain amount of time for it to flag. So whether it's an event, whether it's your business is open, you could use it for each one of those things. But I think there's some barriers, too many barriers in place.
Yeah.
But
Car, please. There we go. What's the problem with trying to stay in a higher gear than normal. I've been getting used to switching to sequential so I can stay in a higher gear so the engine's not so fucking loud. That's why I prefer manual, because whenever I don't have enough torque, I can clutch it to get a little extra torque out of it.
Oh, shit. Okay.
But yeah, this new direction. I'm hoping the PDs accept this. There's a lot of things I wish we were more transparent on. Like when people, for example, when people have criminal warrants, I understand not giving them the full report and all the details of it, but I really wish we could at least just tell people what their warrant's for. Hey, you have a warrant.
I
for
agree.
first-degree robbery. You want to find out the details? Then turn yourself in, bring a lawyer, and we'll talk about the details.
I think, if I'm going to be honest with you, PD is lacking experience, and as a consequence of that, things like you mentioned, like the conversation, like should they know what the charges are for, or like you mentioned earlier, knowing what to disseminate to the public. There's not, I think, enough experience available to have that conversation rationally. And I say that based on many conversations I've had, is I tend to be getting regurgitated answers. Like, let's say you brought that up to me, and I'm a cop. You know, I probably would say, well, we can't do that because, and then you say, but why? It's like, just drool. You know what I mean? It's like,
because what we've been told. That's it. That's my response. Is if this, then that.
yeah, it's like, well, now
I'm
how?
following my flow chart.
Yeah, precisely that. And it's like, well, then there's no conversation, right? It's not based on any merit. It's just, you know. But slowly but surely, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think more information is helpful. More information exchange, information to the public, information to you guys, the leadership, your cabinets. We have all this technology. The rest of the world's in the age of information. We're in the age of secrecy over here.
Yeah.
It's hampering it.
Well, let's say, for example, it was a murder warrant, right? Or terrorism. Shouldn't it be out there so people know, like, what the fuck? This guy's in for terrorism? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the worst that's going to happen? They might shoot cops when you try to get them? They're going to do it anyways.
Yeah, you look at the Western, look at the Western world. You go after a terrorist, that shit's on every single news site out there until that guy's caught. Here's his picture. Here's what we're looking for. This is what he's done. This is what we want him for. They capture him, then it's all over the news.
Yeah.
We captured him. We got the big one. He's in
Yeah,
jail.
absolutely.
Even when they're in a light, the Luigi guy, Luigiano, whatever his name was,
Mm-hmm.
the guy killed somebody.
Yes!
In open street.
Oh my
It was
God!
all over
Could
the
you
news.
imagine? It was all over the news. Yeah. Actually, let me even throw you another thing. Is that I think the fear might be like, what if someone gets rid of evidence? Well, the warrant wouldn't be up unless you had enough, anyways. You know what I mean?
PC for the warrant.
Yeah.
You're just trying to push for Bard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
I think these are good conversations to keep going. You know what I mean? And I do think a weekly meeting would be valuable.
absolutely.
All right.
All right, Nino. I got people already blowing up my phone asking for phone
right.
calls. I'm sure you know the feeling.
Yep. Absolutely. You stay safe.
I
Yeah.
had to start a queue. Yeah, you as well.
Man, I'm glad he's a director